3, 2, 1.
Asha!
I'm here. Whew, just 1 second. Let me catch my breath.
So your character, Asha, is joining a very long legacy of Disney heroines. But how do you think she stands out among them?
Oh, well, I mean, I just love this character so much. And I think what makes her different is that she is especially selfless. You know, she doesn't make a wish for herself. She makes a wish for everyone else, for everyone around her, for her community. She's a helper in a different way. You know, we've had Disney princesses, we've had Disney heroines, and now we have in Asha this helper, which sort of evokes like this idea of what our fairy godmothers do. You know, they don't necessarily hand us anything, right? They don't necessarily tell us how to do it or how to accomplish a task, but they help. And that's what Asha's doing. So I think within the legacy of Disney characters, in that way, she's very different.
Yeah, that's quite an underrated job, being the fairy godmother, isn't it?
I think it is. It can be very, I don't know, it feels inherently magical, but no, I think for the everyday fairy godmothers in our lives, sometimes it can be a big job that maybe is a little underrated. Yeah.
Yeah. In that sense, what are you hoping that younger audiences are taking away from Asha's journey from this movie?
Oh, I love that question. I mean, part of why I wanted to make the movie was because I really loved the messaging. I think my hope is that audiences of all ages, but especially younger people, can see that Asha is modeling advocacy and leadership, right? She identifies a problem, she takes steps to find a solution. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Yes, it's Disney and it's magical, but change doesn't happen, you know, like that. It takes time and perseverance and determination, but there is a solution reached in the end. And it didn't just come from one girl, you know? One girl had the courage to stand up and say something, but an entire community of people had to come together in order to achieve it. That's what I want people to take away. Like, remember that together we can accomplish amazing things.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So in the movie, Asha faces King Magnifico, which is quite a character.
Yes, right?
Chris Pine said recently that he was actually very nervous about singing. What do you think of his performance and how it's working with him?
Oh, well, I've loved Chris Pine for forever. And I also find that statement very funny because Chris Pine has sung with the likes of Barbra Streisand. And I was like, I make you nervous. You've sung with Barbara. Wow. Forgive me, Miss Streisand. He's incredible. I think Chris is one of those multi-talented actors who may not realize the full depth of his talent, because he's quite the vocalist, and I think he makes for a delicious villain, a true Disney villain. And I don't know, he dove in, you know? We actually didn't get to record in the studio together, but we did have the chance to come together to promote the film, and spending time with him. He's such a gentleman. He's a great guy. I'm a fan.
There are certain elements that we expect from a Disney animated movie. One of them is great songs. This movie has great songs. But since we're looking back at the studio's legacy, which classic Disney song would you pick to sing at karaoke?
Oh, a karaoke. Yeah, Disney is a go-to of mine for karaoke, and typically it goes to Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Nice one.
Yeah. It's gets the job done, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes. So I'm sure a lot of people will begin this wish from now on, which is an incredible I want kind of Disney song. So how was for you singing this song, and what was your favorite part of this process?
When I first heard this wish, I was like absolutely panicked and totally excited at the same time, because it's such a beautiful song. I think Julia Michaels and Ben Rice, who've written all the tunes for our movie, really wrote something that is kind of like the mother of all I want songs. And it's also deceptively hard to sing. So for me, it's like I I went and I began to train again so that I could sing it and do it justice. You know, I'm a nervous vocalist, and getting up in front of people is challenging these days. But I respect Julia and Ben so much that I was nervous in the booth, but the two of them together made for incredible partners, and I think I grew so much as a singer during this process. So I'm very grateful.
Boy, it sounded incredible. So
Thank you.
There. So we were talking about underrated jobs in Disney movies. The sidekick is actually an underrated job as well. And in this movie, we get Valentino, who's hilarious.
Alan Tudyk did an incredible job with Valentino.
Absolutely. So looking back at at Disney legacy, which would be your favorite Disney sidekick of all time?
Okay. Favorite Disney sidekick of all time. That is a tough one. Okay. I mean, immediately my brain said Mushu from Mulan.
That's mine as well.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy really did that. Like, well done, sir. It's a great character. Like, so good.
Other thing that is very classic from Disney movies is romance. But we don't get romance in this movie, and we haven't been getting a lot of romance from Disney animated movies recently. How do you feel about it? Do you think it's good that Disney movies are like moving away a little bit from these romantic relationships pattern?
Yeah, no, I think it's... I think we live in a time where themes are cyclical, right? And so, yes, the pendulum swings, but that's good. It's good for variance and perspective, and not every, female Disney character needs to have the goal and ambition of simply finding a man to love her. There are more stories to tell, and especially in the world we live in today, I think something like Wish that has a more broader outlook that talks about community is just as important as talking about love, right? And there are so many different ways to love. And, while this is not about romantic love, you do see familial love, and you do get, love of friendship, right? Like Star and Asha have this beautiful connection with each other. And so I think reminding people that not only can we tell different stories, we can also talk about love in different ways.
So how was working with Julia Michaels, you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, I think Julia Michaels is one of the greatest songwriters of our generation, of our time. She's so giving. She really is. But she knows what she wants, and she will work with you and push you to get it. But what I really appreciated was when she heard me sing, she was like, all right, the song is yours now. You sing it. And that kind of support is priceless when you do what I do, when you're an actor who sings. I don't really classify myself as a singer who acts. So I have nothing but glowing things to say about her, because she's an angel on the planet, and again, a very talented, gifted human.
So I don't know if last night was the first time that you watched the movie. I guess you have watched it before.
No, I've seen the movie, yeah.
Okay, so what was your first reaction when you saw the final?
The final cut.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I was so moved when I first saw the movie. I mean, I couldn't stop smiling, but I cried many, many times because I saw glimpses of my own childhood within this movie. I felt all of the emotion around, Asha being beautiful and brown and with braids and twists and freckles. I was so excited because I finally felt like within this genre, kids who look like me, mixed race kids from all walks of life, could see themselves in this girl. And I've always been a big believer in representation. I believe in it more now than I did even 4 years ago. And I'm really proud of what we made. And it's such a heartening feeling when you see something you put your heart and soul into, and you're like, it's good. Doesn't matter what anybody says about it. It's good. It makes you feel. That's all I ever wanted to do, and I am blessed enough to have my wish granted. I get to do it.